The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by USAA Insurance, auto, renters, and home insurance that's made to help the military community protect what they've worked hard for.
Hello friends, and welcome to day 2 of the London home series. We are so happy that you started to join us today as we're kicking off the day with a lovely matchup. Los Angeles Thieves taking on the Seattle Surge. A lot on the line to kick off stage 3. It's going to be electric. It's going to be fun. Speaking of electric, I think there might be some lightning going on outside my house right now. I have no idea what's happening. Dallas is freaking out after what has been a wild roster change with the Empire, but kind of focusing in on what is going to be our current matchup study, Thieves, Surge. A lot of hype coming into this one.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what the Thieves have been able to put together since the major. You know, they went through that honeymoon stage where they were able to win a couple series, but now that stage is over. It's all about just progressing, getting better every day. And for the Surge, the only thing they need to improve on is the control. If they can get that done, we're going to have a great series on our hands.
We talked about it, right? It's a matter of, like, if they can improve the control, how much that kind of really means for the team. But let's go ahead and first start off with the team that, no pun intended, stole our hearts at the stage 2 major, making some incredible plays with this new team. Now bringing it into the stage 3 as well, Los Angeles Thieves. And there's a look at your LA Thieves. I mean, what study? There's a lot of people after the stage 2 major. I think we even talked about it like on Twitter Spaces. It was like, what is going to be necessary, or what really is going to have to be done for this group of 4 to stick together? According to LA Thieves management, they did just enough, if not even better, to improve and now to continue as a lineup moving into stage 3.
Yeah, man, at the major 2, they get 2 3-0s. They get a reverse sweep, and then unfortunately they drop to the team that won the entire thing, but it was still a close series, and it was just a good sight to see from the Thieves because obviously throughout stage 2, it wasn't the best performance from these guys. They make that roster change, they come in with some new faces, and they just surprised the entire world, man, and hopefully they were able to progress on that, build upon that momentum, hopefully going into stage 3.
Like, what's the term with them? It's like, what, if we're flying and frying?
If we're flying, we're frying. We're flying, we're dying.
Oh.
It's either or. If they're flying and frying, they're good. If they're flying and dying, it's over.
It kind of feels like it's a good kind of slogan given the London home series. Maybe the Ravens. I have really no idea. But hey, speaking of teams that are kind of on the come up right now, we also have to meet the team that sits on the other side. So put your hands together for the Seattle Surge. Lord, son! Finds himself another one!
Prestinni looking dangerous.
He's just ripping the entirety of the Guerrillas.
Aggressive is always diamond con, head ripped off. Looking to find a few more, but Gunless
Absolutely rips his way through the 3 of them.
249, Seattle won! And there is the Seattle Surge. I mean, what study? There's been a lot of talk on this team, their progress, the progression from stage 1 to stage 2. What do you like the most about the Seattle Surge now coming into their 3rd stage?
I just like the chemistry between these guys. Every single time that we've seen these guys play, they have been getting better and better, and then just players just being consistent, especially a player like Prestinni. Since stage 2, the guy has been the #1 player on this roster in hardpoint overall KD with a 1.13, and that's just such a step for him because he's never played like that, and just watching him play like that, you could just tell his confidence is all there, and he's feeling himself when he's looking left and right, and he's seeing all his teammates supporting him as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about, you know, confidence and Prestinni. Usually whenever he's a confident player, he tends to dominate the battlefield from time to time. Let's go and take a look at our game field keys to victory. Start things off with the Surge, stud.
Yeah, so continue to improve and control. 3-10 on the season, 1-1 during the Major 2, and the only loss they had during the Major was versus OpTic. It was a tough one to go against. OpTic was one of the best control teams in the game, and then obviously Prestinni just needs to keep up his consistency. Like I said, man, 1.13 in hardpoint overall for this team. But when we're talking about this team, I feel like we always talk about Prestinni, we always talk about Gunless, but the player that I really want to see get back into his form has to be Octane. He's just been cruising around with 1.0, but Octane, the human turn, like you like to say, he's usually that guy that's going to throw up a 1.1, 1.2, and just slay all across the board with that AR. And hopefully, throughout stage 3, he's able to do that.
What can I say? I like me some Sam LaRue. He's a solid player. Solid player. Okay. You know, I tried. I did my best. It wasn't really there. But let's go and talk about our game field keys to victory. Now for the LA Thieves, short and sweet. Continue to build off the Major 2 performance, and Drazah needs to be the consistent player for this team. I mean, what's that? We had a number of different casts for the Thieves kind of throughout that losers bracket run and during stage 2, and they kind of continue to shock us, right? We were talking about how they're down versus London. Surely they're not going to make the reverse sweep. They're able to do that. They come into the series versus NYSL, and they 3-0 them. Like there really is kind of a big question going on this team in terms of like, hey, you know, what can they do now coming into this next stage? And I guess I'll kind of pose that question to you. Do you think that kind of was just kind of a momentary kind of moment in time where we're going to see this honeymoon stage, or do you think this team really is the real deal?
I think this team has the capability of being the real deal, man. Like the fact that they showed up with only 2 days of practice, they got 3 series underneath their belt, and they were just vibing. You could just tell by the energy between these players. They're feeling really good. And like, obviously the series versus Toronto didn't go in their favor. Drazah, he had a 0.5 in that series, but they went on to win the tournament. With only 2 days of practice, you gotta be feeling really good. Now that you have had more time, it's all about just improving on those.
And now as we take a look at the maps and modes, I mean, what, kind of throughout these 5, we got Apocalypse Hardpoint to start, Moscow, some Raid, Checkmate, and then Raid S&D to lock things up. I mean, but what, based kind of on the vetoes, any of your thoughts kind of changing? If you had one team kind of coming into this, has that changed now that you see the map vetoes?
Well, I saw the vetoes and I just couldn't believe. I need Surge to win this map number 1, because if they get to that map number 3, they're currently 0-6 on raid control. And this is where I'm talking about the improvements. The fact that they were able to pick that map tells that they have been practicing on it. They got to be feeling really confident. So hopefully they're able to show up today.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about the control. I know that they obviously performed better in stage 2 without a doubt, right? I think they get like 3 wins in control, but all of them are on Garrison. Like it's like the one positive you're taking away is like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, we're playing better in control, but it's on one map, and of course we're going to see the Thieves go and get rid of that one. So, like you said, Standy, a big map for both of our teams, arguably maybe more influential for the Surge coming into this bad boy, but it is Apocalypse to start. And but last time we saw Seattle kind of starting off a stage, it was on Apocalypse versus the Florida Mutineers, and that man Prestinni, he was lighting it up early, buddy.
Yeah, he was going off on this map. And on the opposite side, you had the Thieves, who have only played this map once, and it's with this new roster. When they went up against London, in that first map, they dropped it, but then they ended up completing the reverse sweep. So both of these guys only have 1 rep on this, so this is going to be a good first map.
I kind of feel like, you know, for a majority of teams right now, it's kind of discussion of, hey, do you want to play Apocalypse? Maybe we've kind of started to see more teams trying out Express, etc. So who knows? Maybe in stage 3, we'll start to see it be played more frequently. But off the rip, a nice start for Drazah. Player we talked about kind of needs to be on form for this team. As he falls, unfortunately, so does Kenny as well. The progress from Surge looks to be made as Thieves, nice start early, 23-1, also possessing those big P2 spawns as well.
Yeah, they're not mad about that, man. Getting 23 seconds off that P1, you're going to have one player who's going to spawn out, but gunfights are still going in favor of the Thieves. They have the spawns for broken. Now it's all about just holding the first push from the Surge to be able to grow this lead a little bit. You're going to have 2 players playing towards back temple. 1 person watching from broken, but here comes the push from Surge. Just look like they're all going to try to hit out the backside. Venom's going to open up with the first blood. Drazah trying to do everything he can, but Gunless with the 2-piece is going to break through.
Really kind of with the push being made from Surge, it will continue to allow for those Thieves spawns to be close. Really looking for the picks. You've got one player kind of looking toward the back temple side is going to be Drazah. Player 5, Kenny, farthest pushed up, looking over toward Turtle. Really just a matter of when is Seattle going to try to hit this. First player through looks to be Gunless. Again, just looking for the angles, trying to get the timing as now they feel the push is necessary, but 2 instantly fall. But Octane, he ends up getting a nice headshot, but he gets met with another one himself. Thieves, they're holding every single second.
Yeah, I felt like that was just a waste of time right there. Like Gunless, he opens up with a 2-piece in the backside, and his teammates looked like they were going to push the front and try to set up for a pinch, but they decide to wrap back through middle. They give up all this time to the Thieves. Now, they're not able to get any seconds off of this P2. Now it's all about setting up for that P3, but Venom's going to win 2 huge engagements on the left side of the map to try to get his team set up nice and early. Currently on the 2 spree, 8-4 to the young man's name. 2 players are going to drop now, and it's looking like Surge should be able to get control here.
Looks to be good as what the kind of final 1v1 goes through, and it will be Loony who wins the fight. Back and forth we go. A solid start early for Thieves. You'd like to maybe see the Surge grab some good seconds, but when we talk about kind of future spawns, you like what the Thieves are able to do. Really, when we talk about 3, 4, and 5, it's always nice to kind of have that back no man's land position. So overall, good spot right now for LA as Drazah continues to pick up kills. He and Venom together, dominating toward bottom lights. Last player alive is going to be Loony. He really is going to try to grab as much map control as he can leading into this next hill, because like we said, a solid start for LA. Surge in desperate need to get some good seconds over here at Turtle.
Yeah, they have to try to stay alive on this point. If both of these players drop here, it's going to set up a pinch, and they're going to just spawn all the way out. But 3 players are going to drop, so Seattle is able to get in. That's going to be the 4th as well, so they're going to flip the spawns, and this can be the opening for the Surge to fight back into this game. I love the way the Thieves have been playing this so far, because the first time we've seen them play it versus London, they were not winning those rotations. Now it's looking like they're putting a lot of focus towards those spawns, and you see number 7. He's trying to flip it right off the rip, taking the long route. He should be able to catch a player in the back. That's going to be 3 down, and it's looking like the Thieves are going to be able to break in.
Yeah, Thieves, they break in, now reaching the century mark, playing well, and they said, what, if they're flying and frying, that is the key to success for them. Let's go and check in with the communications for our Astro listening with the LA Thieves.
Stay left, back and stay left, yep.
Yeah, we're gonna
come
on our truck.
Yeah, play together, nice shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
wait,
the
I'm
front
on our
truck.
truck. I'm coming, mid-check. He's hitting it. Top P5.
Nice.
I spawned P3.
One top,
I'm
bro.
gonna go. Last guy's owed, no? Or you could be
Yeah,
could be owed. I'm looking mid, bro.
Yeah,
Could be owed.
I'm top P5. Back talk me.
Alright, they can be low right, bro.
Yeah, someone.
I run mid,
I open the back. I can help you. I can help you.
I'm shoulder my front. You back open me?
You get my cross.
I can have you.
Loony push you.
I'm dead.
You're 2 in the back of me.
In the back of me. Yep, dead. On the truck. Let me know if you kill him.
I'm helping you.
Yep, I spawn close. Pick up pitch, I spawn.
I spawn here.
I can
Back Sam done. Close wall.
Front. Nice, I'm pushing front. Look for Dan. Loony.
Where with you, Ken?
Out on me mid. Yeah.
Hey, behind you.
You're alone.
Let the mid.
Help.
I'm cool.
I
got one.
I got one.
Where's you go? Low right.
Right,
Hilly. Dead.
Drop.
You
go. Half wall.
Yeah.
I'm from maps. I'm in maps. I'm going lower. Nice. Could be half wall. Let the child half wall.
Come to the right.
Be back right. Yep. I don't see any back right. Deep right.
I'm in the back here.
I got low right.
He's half wall.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Study. I love the comms there, my man. How about you?
Yeah, I love them, man. They were just so clean, and it felt like it was a little different from the stage, because obviously during the major, they were just winging it. They were just playing strictly off vibes, but now it looks like they have some structure to their gameplay. You see right off the rip of that P5, they were trying to flip those spawns in their head, but Seattle were able to win those engagements to make sure that they keep those spawns towards broken. So now they're able to get themselves on this time. With 35 seconds remaining, you're going to see all the Thieves players pushing through this left side, pushing through low trenches and top TV. But all the kills are going in favor of the Surge. Only down by 50 points. If they hold this, they should be able to fight back into this one.
Oh, the close 1v1. Kitty's able to win it. And it's kind of funny, too, as Prestinni does manage to get some revenge as the Thieves fire away through front. Loony does, unfortunately, lose the 1v1, but Prestinni's there to pick it up. But there's been so many conversations kind of coming into this series about how it's going to be Kenny, the main AR now for Thieves, versus Octane, of course, longtime teammates. And I think it was Kenny who basically said, like, he's going to be beaming Octane now in the main AR duel. It's just so funny to think about, like, when we talk about the Thieves history, like their run back in Black Ops 4, Octane obviously known as the AR dominant player, Kenny with the SMG, and now they're running the same role. I got to say, man, Kenny, he's been excellent, but we'll see if he can continue to play big for them as they look to break in toward P2. Surge doing great to bring it back now in this game.
Yeah, man, with 40 seconds left, they have not given the Thieves any opportunity to try to break in. As I say that, 3 players are going to drop, but they still have the spawns. So now only being down 10 points, they should be able to take the lead. Great nade, but I'm pretty sure the trophy is able to eliminate that from the sticky. But now, Thieves, now they're going to have to fight from the backside, play that rotation, and try to set up early. But Gunless is here nice and early to try to get a kill. Venom going to go for the second on the Octane. He's going to be able to get him. So that's going to slow down the push from the Surge. All the players spawning towards back broken. Should give enough time for the Thieves to set up.
Yeah, so Seattle, after a very slow first set of rotations, pretty much do exactly what the Thieves did on the first set of rotations, right? They're able to get some good time at P1. Overall, Old Temple throughout a majority of the time. Just like that, they brought themselves back into this game as now we head back toward Light. Seattle with some good top TV control as the fights only continue. Venom getting ever close toward that trophy, and how great has Venom been for this team since that losers run at the Stage 2 Major? There's a lot of talk on, could he kind of be that guy, kind of underperform for the Thieves, but he has been excellent since this team formed, stud.
Yeah, he's been a great part. He's been a great counterpart to TJ. Him and Venom have been working so well together ever since Drazah has picked his ball in that flex role. He's been playing a lot more consistent. But as of right now, the Surge, they are just on fire. That's 3 hills in a row that they were able to chain. Now they put themselves up by 30 points. They also have one player that's trying to play for the spawns in the back. It's going to be a huge engagement from Drazah. He's going to be able to win it. So now that's going to secure the spawns for the Thieves. They should be set up nice and early for Turtle. But look at what Seattle are doing. They're sending 3 players through TV. They're trying to flip these spawns right off the rip.
You like the play, considering kind of the future mentality, kind of playing chess outside of checkers, the quick engagements for Loony as he falls, but Prestinni is right there to pick up from where he left off. Despite the nice plays from Surge and kind of the resiliency being shown from Prestinni, yet for anything to really come of it. As now another lead change comes in, Loony drops inside a coop. Now it's the Thieves with those next side of spawns. This could be very, very bad for Seattle. If they're not able to make some noise happen, a big push going down through mid. Now Gunless wins a big 2. That's 3 straight for Surge. As they look to break back in tight, rather inside of the hill. A big 1v1 win for Gunless. And now this could be the control that the Surge have been waiting for.
Yeah, that was such a great play out of the Surge right there. They flooded through a map. They won 3 engagements that forced all the players from the Thieves to spawn out towards Broken. So now they're going to have the spawns for the P5. They're only down 7 points. They should be able to take this lead. They just got to hold this first push from the Thieves. Everyone going through low trenches. Prestinni's in such a great position. He spots 1. He's going to be able to spot 3. He's going to come up right behind them all, but Drazah's going to read it. So now it's going to be 4 players right towards the front side, and that's going to be 3 down for the Surge. Thieves break in.
Oh, man, that has to hurt Prestinni. His eyes had to be lit up, right? He's going to be so excited thinking, hey, I got 3 players, but of course there was the 4th. Drazah making the plays, as that will now give the Thieves the advantage coming in toward P5. As they look to lock this one down, many angles to hold, but trenches, without a doubt, has got to be the most preferred. TJ peeks out, he drops, constant fire coming in, but can Prestinni win the 2? No. He does! That's 3 straight, including a punch to go along with it. Will be able to take down the Thieves pretty much by himself. Unbelievable plays coming through from Prestinni. As back and forth we go, a 6-point game. Now heading into this next rotation. And speaking of rotations, it's Octane maybe versus Kenny. The AR versus AR duel. And it's Octane who's able to drop it. Seattle now with spawns.
Seattle do have spawns, and now they're fully set up for that P1. Prestinni's currently on a 6 spree, 1 away from picking up some streaks. He's been playing so well off this last rotation of hard points. He's going to be able to spot Drazah, trying to play his life, trying to pick up these streaks, but Looney's going to be there to help him. Only need 8 seconds from closing out this map, number 1.
Few more seconds left to go. Can anybody from LA hop inside of the hill in time? Maybe one player from Coop, but no. Seattle Surge come through in a big way. Well, I think they were down like 70, 80 points after the first set of rotations, but boy, did they get some necessary momentum. I tell you what, man, I mean, there were so many big plays kind of toward that final P5 that we got to see, Study, but arguably no bigger than Prestinni's 3-piece.
Yeah, man, him going in there, like, and just getting that 3-piece, getting the dash punch on the last guy, that completely threw the Thieves off guard. They thought they were able to get that remaining 15 seconds of junk time and then possibly push through Broken and try to play for those spawns there. But Prestinni going huge when his team needs him to the most. Getting a 3-piece, ending it out on a 6 spree, and eventually closing out that map. Good bounce back right there out of Seattle to fight back into that one.
Yeah, like I said, we talk about it constantly. When we discuss this Seattle team, a lot of the focus has been on control, right? It's kind of been their inconsistency in that mode, and now they walk away with the early Game 1 victory. Now kind of sets them up or success. A major one here on Apocalypse for the Surge. And say what, man, you're looking down that scorecard and you're just seeing consistency. There's a lot of conversation for Seattle coming into this stage saying, hey, can we kind of continue to see them be that team that started to improve slowly but surely? It appears that they have. But of course, we still have Search to start up next. It's still early here at the London Home Series for day number 2. But when we come back, it is some good old Search and Destroy. Make sure to stay with us as we'll be back right after this break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
This should be fun.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, there she is, the beautiful Tower Bridge. Absolutely gorgeous. So many wonderful sights and scenes in London. Of course, for our London home series, it is day 2. Wish that we were at the Copper Box today. We're here virtually. We're getting things done. And what? I mean, after that first game, Surge as well, getting things done. The Thieves looking to maybe come through here with the game 2 Search Destroy victory because, I mean, what, Study? As of late for the Thieves, there was a lot of talk, a lot of speculation. We were even coming into that losers bracket run for them saying, hey, first match versus Paris, it's going to be rough. Like, I think everybody kind of counted them out of that series. They came through in the Major 2, kind of run, the losers bracket run. They surprised a lot of people, man.
Yeah, man, they were just turning heads, man, and it all was that checkmate. They really enjoyed checkmate a lot, man. Checkmate hardpoint, checkmate control. It was really setting up Drazah with that flex roll and Kenny as well. And then when you talk about Search and Destroy with this team, since it was fairly new, it was really hard to read these guys. But on a map like Moscow that we have coming up next, it's usually TJ's playground, man. He runs around the entire middle map, goes up the Eskies, and hopefully Seattle has an answer for him.
Let's go take a look at our quick scope presented by Scump. Of course, hardpoint done and dusted. That one's out of the way. Now our focus comes into that Search and Destroy. Obviously, 10-11 season record for the Thieves. Again, it's kind of a different team, but you get the point. Now on the other side for the Seattle Surge, 8-9. I know Octane's kind of gone on to discuss it a decent amount of time, saying, hey, for the Surge, Search and Destroy was kind of their background. Kind of the mode that they relied on until that hardpoint has started to improve more progressively. Obviously, we talked about the control garrison improvements for Seattle as well, kind of throughout stage 2. So I think this has the ability to be a brawl. As we discussed, that Apocalypse hardpoint was huge for Seattle, and like I said, man, I feel like
Yeah.
every time that we commentate over the Thieves, anytime that TJ is seeing Moscow, it's just it's a destination for some highlights.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. It's just the way that him and Venom work around the middle of the map. It's just so good, man. They like to just play off angles. They like to play off pace as well. And it catches a couple players off guard. And then Drazah, he's usually going big at that B site. He's usually the player that's going to be in the island, playing towards the long street, just picking up kills, gaining that information for his team. But if you're the Thieves, this needs to be a map that you need to take right here, because obviously you're going to go into that control where Seattle have yet to win on raid control, so you should be able to walk away with that one. But this is a map right here that can really determine the series right now for the Thieves.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you think that this Moscow Search and Destroy has the ability to? I mean, obviously it has the ability to change up the series, but would it be crazy to say that depending on who wins this map, probably wins the series, or are you holding out for now?
No, I think if Seattle is able to walk away with this map right here, I think they're definitely going to take the series, because the fact that they have the confidence to play a map that they've never won means that they've been putting in a lot of practice on that map. So I'm excited to see what changes they're going to be able to bring on that control in that next game mode.
Yeah, man. A lot of hype, a lot of excitement coming into really both of these teams respectfully, as we'll start off now with the Thieves here for some good old offense to start things off. But a lot of teams kind of making more attempts toward that B site. See what stage 3 maybe has up its sleeve. But the early mid control, as you talked about it, the SMGs working in tandem together. They're kind of saying, hey, somewhat quiet, maybe too quiet. With that being the case, Gunless able to walk away with the first blood, as Venom fortunately will partake in a quick little death. Will rejoin us soon, but the objective making its way firmly up toward the B side. Just a matter of time. Whenever that plant goes down, Octane putting in some shots toward the backside of the boulevard.
So Octane right there was able to gain that information that he at least saw 2 players in towards that site. And Gunless is going to be able to get the second kill on the round for him. So Octane picks up that information, and both players are going to be towards the left. You're going to see all the Seattle players wrapping back, making sure they're going to be playing their numbers. Gunless is going to be able to get 3. He's going to go for the 4th onto TJ, but now it's all left up to TJ in a 1v3 situation with 30 seconds left. It's basically impossible. He was able to take down the second, but good round out of the Surge right there. Great plays out of Gunless to read that play perfectly, back up, play his life, and then eventually get a hat trick on the round.
Yeah, solid attempt from Gunless. I think anybody would have challenged that play versus Thieves, but solid plays coming through from good old TJHaLy, but not able to walk away with the round. And as you said, kind of somewhat expected given the way the Surge started things off. And really, whenever Big P is playing the way that we know he can, it is scary for every single team in the CDL. Thieves dropping the early one, as now we'll get to visit with Surge and their opening offense. More of a different look, still with that mid control, but the bomb making its way over toward A to start off. Of course, that objective on good old Loony's back. We'll see what he's able to do. Definitely gaining some information, maybe even tossing out some utility to go for the bait. But the Thieves, they're not just going for the bait. In fact, they're going for the hunt. And meanwhile, Loony escapes. Octane as well finds the first blood, so that will free up the B site. The aggression not working out for the Thieves, as Loony making his way toward the bomb site, and Prestinni, they're picking him off left and right. And there we go. The Surge, the bait works out, and they find their second round.
Surge have done their homework, man. That was such a great play out of the Surge right there. They take control of middle map. They get Kenny to back up towards Plat. But the entire time I was paying attention to the mini map, I saw Octane playing deep street. And eventually his teammates are giving him comp, so he's eventually going to start to push up. And he gets the perfect timing on the Kenny. Once he eliminates that player, he knows that that's the only player at that site. And then they completely just push right up the middle map, cut all the players from the Thieves trying to wrap back. Just a great round right there out of the Surge.
It's such a really kind of a hard role to play if you're Loony, because you got 3 players sprinting at you as you know you have the objective. I mean, if he dies in that situation, you're talking about how the round's probably over. But he's able to escape and really running right into the trap that the Surge have laid prior. Great sequence early here from Seattle, trying to pick up from where they left off in the hard point. Gunless off to a nice 5-1 start. The Thieves, oftentimes it's been Kenny to try and get this team back in a new frame of mind, leading the team in overall KD since this roster formed. A 1.11 out of someone who's known as one of the better SMGs in the entire CDL. But again, it continues to be the B hit out of the Thieves. Kind of a similar bait situation as we saw last round from Seattle. As Venom will look to put in the plant. Again, 1 player here right now for the Surge, and that is Octane.
Yeah, Octane just has to play his life. Just wait for his teammates to get back towards that B site. Peep number 2. Number 2 is going to be pushing through mid-map. He might be able to get some good timing onto number 7. Yes, he does. He's going to open up with the first blood onto Drazah. Venom's going to be able to get the trade, so now it's going to be a 3v3. But Venom does gain the information that 2 players are going to push 3. Here comes Kenny to try to help, able to take down 1 TJ with the trade. Now it's all left up to 1 player. He's going to get dropped. TJ with the dash punch. Good round right there out of the Thieves.
Yeah, good round out of the Thieves. And I feel like so often at this site study, we see kind of the opposing team able to retake, I don't want to say effortlessly, but it just seems to be a little bit easier. What'd you like from the Thieves to be able to lock things down on defense?
Right there, well, the Thieves, they were on offense. They were on offense on that round. It was just all about just holding those angles right there. Even though they dropped that first blood right there, they knew exactly where Octane was towards the deep street. But Venom throwing that shoulder, able to help his teammate. Then Kenny being the team player that he is, able to also assist, and just all the trades happen at the perfect time right there for the Thieves. It's all good. It's all right.
I thought I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, it's, you know, good offensive round. Little do I know they're on defense. That's why it was so effortless. Who cares? Regardless, we're hopping into the next round. I'm just trying to recover. Again, the thunder outside is just insane in Dallas. Literally, no one knows how to react to what has been going down. But Seattle still up 2-1. That's all that I really know. But still, nonetheless, here on this next offense, we'll see what they look to do this time around. Because again, last time it was Loony making the nice plays over at A. He gets the bait, but you notice from the Thieves changing up their game plan a little bit, as that's Tej now sitting in through middle. He can get this first pick on the cross, that'd be big. He's able to do it, shutting down Gunless, but he falls toward the Eskies. So current 3 versus 3 as the bomb makes its way into mid.
It's gonna be rotating right into the pre-aim of Venom. Venom's gonna be able to take down 1, trying to go for the 3rd as well. But Looney's gonna be able to walk away with that one. So now with 20 seconds remaining, Loony has to work this bomb plant. But you gotta expect both Thieves players to be standing side by side, trying to play this trade. Looney's gonna push out the back of the spawn, trying to read these players. He's not gonna be able to spot anyone. He's gonna spot Kenny, but eventually both players are gonna challenge, and the Thieves are gonna walk away with the defensive round.
A nice round from the Thieves. It really, like I said, it kind of comes down to that play from Venom, right? Able to get the read, Seattle trying to make the plays, and get cut off their Eskies. And I know what? I mean, like I said, kind of, for me, when I talk about the Thieves, and we've been discussing this team throughout that run in the elimination bracket, really the one guy who I was just super excited to see performing was Venom. I know in a number of different, checkmate S&Ds and whatnot that they were able to play, and obviously win, because we talked about their undefeated run right now with this team on checkmate. He was kind of the first blood king, making the major plays for the roster. When he's playing well, you like their chances. Now we step in to our 5th. Really offensive take from the Thieves as they'll get dropped early. TJ into the respawn screen, and it looks to be the rotation. So prevalently have we seen these rotations go down on Moscow. And it appears to be the case. Mid-map presence not felt. That will be the objective being planted right now from the Røkkr.
Yeah, so Gunless was able to pick up that information. The players were wrapping back towards that site. So now it's a 4v3 retake for the Surge. It's looking like they're going to team commit towards the backside of this site. Prestinni's trying to push through the left side street, but Venom's going to open up with the kill. Prestinni with the second. So now in a 3v2 situation, Drazah's going to have to back up. The only thing is the Surge do have control of the bomb site now. Someone has to try to get their eyes on the bomb. Drazah's going to be able to tie it up and make it a 2v2, but Octane's going to get the kill, get immediately on the bomb, and Gunless is going to get the second onto Drazah. Great defensive round right there out of the Surge. Like I said, Gunless opening up with another kill on the first round, with another first blood, then wrapping back, picking up that information for his team. Great plays out of Big P.
Yeah, great plays from Big P. Great plays from Octane up close with the Craig. Lovely stuff going down from the Surge. And like I said, this Search and Destroy just continues to kind of be their mode, the one that they rely on, and how great it has been for them really kind of throughout the season. It's really just been a matter of, like, hardpoint's been fine. Like I said, it's just been the control, right? Control has been their problem, but you can see how terrifying this roster can be if those respawns continue to improve. Search and Destroy is no joke, but solid game so far, really, from the ARs of the Surge. 4-2 for Octane, 6-3 out of Gunless. Appears to be more of an aggressive take. Now coming into this next round, really presence felt from the Surge. was gonna say, is it just gonna be a wrap? Like, are we just gonna see another rotation? And it looks to be the case. Yep. We love our rotations on Moscow. What can we say?
Just like to make a lot of noise towards one side and then eventually go back to the other. But the only thing is, I'm looking at the positioning out of TJ. You see exactly where he is, underneath that window, closer towards the street side. But Seattle, they're playing mind games. It's looking like they were going to rotate. Now they're just playing nice and slow. But with 40 seconds left, it's looking like they're going to be able to commit towards this B site. But like I said, the positioning out of TJ can ruin their party. But Prestinni's going to find him. Prestinni's able to take him down. Kenny's going to be able to get the trade and get away with his life. And that's such a big kill onto Prestinni because the bomb is going to be down. So the Surge players have to get out of position, grab that bomb, and now work towards that B-bomb plan.
Oh, rotations. Drazah as well finds the pick on the Gunless. And now it's all left up to Octane. A 1 versus 2. Obviously, his presence, without a doubt, is known. Can he get to the bomb in time? He's not going to be able to. Vin's to go ahead and play for the kills and wins the 1v1 versus Kenny. It will be the Thieves locking things up. So my goodness, man, really just a number of different sequences, but really I think it comes down to that bomb rotation that really doesn't work out. And I think specifically what that kill that comes in from Kenny finds the pick and stays alive.
Yeah, man, and if you're right there, that one kind of hurts the Surge because they opened up with that first blood onto Venom, which eventually turned into a 3-3, and then there was no other players from the Thieves pushed up towards that A site. They were all playing towards the back of their spawn. So they had control, but obviously they don't see what we see, so they decided to wrap that back. Eventually it costed them right there. Some great shots out of Kenny. But now you're going to see the Thieves on their offensive pushes looking like they're going to get a little bit more aggressive towards the safe site. They know exactly where Loony is on the outskirts. Loony has to try to play his life here, but the aggression is on him. Venom's going to open up with the first blood.
Great start from the Thieves. Really just taking over this bomb site. Taking names, for the most part, is really things somewhat clear for the moment. Still Eskies to watch, but we'll see if the pick can be gained. And nice shots continually from Gunless as Octane as well. Able to drop one. The immediate reply is now we find ourselves in what is a 1v1 Prestinni versus TJ. Prestinni knows his position, and he's able to take him down. A little bit scary there toward the stretch, but the Surge, they're able to lock it up.
Yeah, and that's a great round out of the Surge right there. They ended up dropping a player nice and early, but Octane and Gunless, the duo that they are with those assault rifles, they pushed right through that site. Gunless was able to open up with the first, and then the trade tries to come in, and Octane's there to save his life. Eventually stalls enough time for Prestinni to hit up the Eskies, get the kill on the Drazah, and then a huge 1v1 gunfight versus TJ to close out that round.
I know Loony sitting at 1-5. On the other side, you got Drazah 3-5, 3-5 for Kenny, but still, it's really kind of been the, really, the side of the Seattle, it's been their ARs. It's been that AR presence that's really kind of helped them escape in a number of different situations. We talk about, really, the team effort, the consistency has been great. Venom again toward the outskirts, as that'll be 3. The quick triple coming through from Venom. Gunless is at least able to lighten the load a little bit, as he will find himself in a 1 versus 2. But the great play from Venom totally changes up the round. See what Gunless has up his sleeve, as this would be a huge round if Seattle were able to take it.
The only thing is, the bomb is going to be down, so Gunless has to work towards this left side. He's going to be able to spot Venom on the left, and then shots come in from Kenny, but great shots onto Venom. Now turns it into a 1v1. He knows exactly the positioning out of Kenny. He's going to hit the full wrap on him. Hopefully Kenny's going to be able to read this, but like I said, with 30 seconds remaining, he has to work towards this bomb plant. Kenny's just going back and forth, trying to watch multiple angles at once. He's going to eventually just back down. With 20 seconds left, Gunless has to try to locate him or plant this bomb. Pretty sure he was able to spot him right there in the corner of his eye. So he's just going to play this outskirts. He's going to read it, and Gunless is going to walk away with the 1v2 clutch. Even though Venom got the 3-piece on the round, Big P said, nuh-uh, this one's mine, buddy. Great round out of Big Pierce right there to close that out.
You've got to be kidding me, man. You've got to be kidding me. We're talking about the round to start things off, and I'm already thinking about the next one. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to be level 4-4, has the ability to go to round 11, and obviously it still does. But like I said, Pierce, Gunless is playing at a different level. Excellent, excellent shots. I will say a good read in that 1v1 from Venom, right? The nade goes out. Gunless tries to get some space. Venom still challenges, but shots from Gunless just ever too strong. The nice long range off the Drazah as well. He is feeling himself as the Thieves not cowering in terror as of yet, but boy, they've got to be somewhat shook. After what, the nice 3-piece to start off the round, not able to find it, but Venom drops the first. Unfortunate team kill comes in. The trades aplenty, as now we've got ourselves in a 2 versus 2. Make it a 1 versus 2, but the one man alive, it is going to be Gunless. Blinded, has to back away, and can he make the play? This time around, they started to line up for a moment. But the Thieves, they can start to sigh a little bit of a relief, as we've got ourselves at least around 10.
Yeah, that one got a little scary for me, man. Once you see Gunless left in the 1v2, anything is possible. But that flash indicator right there gives the information to the Thieves players. It knows exactly his positioning. Then they just double challenge. Good win right there out of Drazah to close that one out. Now they find themselves down 5-4. 1 round away from closing it to a round, from forcing it to a round 11. If you're looking at the surge, man, Loony 1-7. It's not exactly what you expect, but they are still in the lead right now. They're going to go into another offensive push. And it's looking like the Thieves are going to have 2 players stacked towards that A site. TJ, once again, is going to try to take control of the middle map, but he's playing a little safer this time, playing it from the plat. And he has his eagle eye and Mr. Kenny watching right over him.
They kind of switch the bomb off Loony down to Prestinni. It's kind of been on Loony to somewhat be the island player over at A, especially for those B hits. But again, it's Octane with the first blood. How great has he been for the Surge so far in these early engagements? Number of different ARs really stepping up in that particular category, and Octane is no different. Loony,
Just pay attention to number 5.
gonna make the plays, but as you call it, player 5. Nice plays on the flank, but he gets shut down by who other than Octane yet again. Nice opportunity for Venom. Can he stay alive? He does for the moment, trying to utilize the bomb, but it will be the Surge who put in the final few kills and win this search and destroy in round 10. The big plays coming in really from everybody, and despite what was kind of a slower game from Loony, wins a big 1v1 to just put the nail in the coffin, as now Seattle find themselves up 2-0.
Man, and if you're the Thieves, that 1v2 is going to hurt, man. Even if Venom eats the nade and just stays alive, it's still a 2v1 situation. The fact that he committed towards that gunfight, he gave the easy kill to Gunless. Then he had so much time to work with. He spotted out Kenny and is able to walk away with that 2v1 to put themselves up 5-3. That was the round that really solidified this map for me. If the Thieves were able to walk away with that one, we'd be talking about a round 11 right now. But the Surge, they close it out, man. Up 2-0 in the series.
And it's impressive. It's impressive. Like I said, they've kind of been answering, kind of checking off a lot of the things that we've been discussing with this team. Prestinni goes for 10. You got Gunless at 10, Octane at 9. Really just, again, the players who we've been talking about who have kind of been great as of late continue to be that. Now we talk about, this control on raid, 0-6 really on the season. It's kind of been their major problem, but who knows, man? So far in stage 3, they're winning out hard points versus talented teams. They're closing out search and destroys. If they get a W here on raid control, I think it would be safe to say this is a much different Seattle team study.
100%, man. And the only thing that I really like about this map pick is even though they are 0-6, when I'm talking about this Thieves roster, their favorite map is Checkmate. They get that out the window, so this can be anyone's ball game right here. Hopefully the Surge have put a lot of practice in the back end to come out and show us up in this raid control.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, we gotta take a look back at a play that deserves to have another look at it with our U.S. Army tactical play. This, of course, is the clutch coming in from Gunless. I mean, off the start, it is Venom walking away with the first, rather, doesn't get the first 3 kills. Prestinni steps in with the first, but overall, the early 3 kills come through from Venom, and it's Gunless left all by himself, makes the plays, study again. I mean, fair to say, is this kind of the sequence, the clutch that ends up winning the entire game for Surge?
Yes, it is, man, because in this situation, Venom's picking up a 3-piece. So right here, in his mind, he's feeling himself. He's like, oh, give me the ace, give me the ace. And that's probably why he decided to recommit towards that challenge. You see, the nade comes in, but he's not going to die there through that nade. He decides to commit towards the challenge. He doesn't read Gunless' positioning right there. He timed it perfectly. Once he throws the nade, he pushes up, gets the kill. And now with so much time on the clock, he's just going to wrap the entire site on Kenny. He's going to have him thinking that he's going to come from multiple different angles. That's why Kenny was going from left to right, from right to left. But when it came down to it, Gunless hits towards his back alley. He was able to spot him in the corner of my eye, through this little crack right there, he was able to spot Kenny right there. So once he did that, he picks up the bomb, crouches, just plays his time because he knows that Kenny has to eventually check that bomb and just plays it beautifully, man. Good round right there at a big peak.
What a wonderful breakdown from yourself, Study. Just great stuff, my man. But hey, what? Seattle up 2-0. Octane's winning first bloods. Prestinni is flying. And Big Pierce cannot be stopped. The clutch master as Seattle fighting themselves up 2-0. Can they get it done on raid control? 0-6 on this season. Can it be here? Can it be the 3-0 sweep?
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on April 25th. Tournament audio and team listenings are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming.
And if you're right, collect your points and admire yourself on top of the leaderboard. Awesome prizes are available all season long for the biggest winners, so don't forget to get your picks in. I'll be honest with you, Stud, my pick'em's not great right now, at least in terms of, I actually was the pick'em king, I'll say that, after the stage 2 major, so I will happily take my throne, but I've got the Thieves winning this one in the game 5, so I'm gonna need them to step up in this control, and I don't know how well that's gonna be going for me, considering the fact that Seattle, stage 1 and stage 2 have looked great, and so far, granted, it is their first match in stage 3, major changes going down right now with this team, buddy.
Yeah, man, and just watching the preparation that the Surge have been able to put in throughout this time that they have off. That last map, that's only the second time they've ever played Moscow, and they were feeling really confident there. So they're 0-6 on this next map coming up, but they have the confidence to play it. So like I said, I'm just excited to see what kind of work they put in on the back end to try to get better at these control maps, because on one side 0-6 and the other side 3-4, but that with the Thieves, it's a completely different roster there. And hopefully this needs to be a map that Seattle needs to be able to improve on, because this is that swing map. If you're the Thieves, This is the one that you need to take right here, because you're going to go into that next map, which would be a checkmate hardpoint, which they're really strong on. So Surge needs to be able to close it out here to be able to solidify this series.
Yeah, man, and it's a shame, right? Because of how great the other side is playing right now. Specifically, we talk about those stats, how they've increased because of players like Prestinni and because of players like Gunless. Let's go and take a look at our Astro Social soundboard. What we see Cell talk about Gunless, GOAT. Other people talk about Gunless, what a clutch. Gunless with the clutch. Everybody impressed by Big P's performance. And there was also, speaking of tweets, you said there was like a tweet from Gunless that came out like yesterday saying that he feels like his mind is more clear than ever. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he said that he's never thought... Yeah, he's never thought this clear in the last 15 years of his life, and he said he's so happy that his mind is just open, man. He's just looking, man. So far throughout this series, he's on point, man. First map 32, second map 10 bomb, and the guy's just on a roll right now.
He is. I don't know how many hertz he's playing on, but all the Seattle fans have to worry about is just he is frying, which again could be the key to success, given the fact that I know we beat it like a dead horse. 0-6 on raid control. Are the Seattle Surge. Now could be their chance to really kind of change things up, kind of change their strategy on this. And as you talked about it, man, Moscow Search and Destroy, not a mode that they played very often. You told me that, hey, you know what, the strategies are clearly there. And you got to imagine, right, a team that's 0-6, they're aware of the mistakes. They're practicing probably that map, more aware of that map and mode combination than any other. So excited to see what this team can do. Again, kind of coming into a fresh new stage.
Yeah, and then the whole new game mode basically in control, man. Don't forget that the ticks are basically what's going to judge who's going to be able to get that defense towards the end if it goes to that round number 5. And if they do tie in the ticks, or I guess you can say segments the way that Miles likes to say it, then it's all going to come down to the kills if it does go down to that round number 5. But nice and early, it's looking like the Thieves are going to try to take control of this A site. That's 2 ticks in already. They do have a 3 live advantage. They're already pushing through the back. TJ not slowing down. 8 points should be theirs. Nice and easy here shortly. But Big Pierce, he's going to be able to take down 1. They do spot a player that was able to spawn up, but that's going to be 3 down already for the Surge and the Thieves. They are rolling to start this map number 3.
Yeah, when we talk about a raid control, right, you're going to have to do quite a bit of addition on this map in particular. We talk about those segments, aka those ticks. Nice work coming through from Drazah as he was watching the players come through from that basketball stairs, but the presence not yet over toward that flank. Octane still left to deal with the craftiness of Tej. Tries to run through, but Tej is still hanging out. He's still alive, and so is Kenny as well. So that progress is only going to continue. Loony, he drops toward the top. Mansion, Surge, they're just trying to retake control back over their base. And granted, it has started to work, but with 2 minutes on the clock, you're looking at really just 1 more tick left for Thieves, and they can lock up this game. Kenny is able to drop 2 despite the nice cover fire that was coming through from Seattle. This is just straight up only positives right now from the Thieves. And can they win this in record time with 2 minutes on the clock, Study? 2 minutes on the clock. The Thieves are able to walk away with this round. Madness.
That was a murder, an absolute massacre. They just went through that A side, they capped that with ease. Then they pushed through the Surge's base, get every single kill. Kenny was able to pick up some streaks. The finesse plays out of Kenny right there to pick up 2 when both players are trying to challenge out from basketball. He takes down both, stalls enough time for his teammates to get to him, and eventually they close out that point. Kenny with a 7-0 start, looking like the premium agent right here, the opposite of the James Bond. The guy's on fire right now.
He is, Vin. iLLeY Ken. Unbelievable stuff early. Like I said, a 7-0 start. If you're Surge, that has to hurt a decent amount. But nice little QBZ look coming through from Gunless, as that'll be a quick, nearly 3rd. So again, the slaying presence felt early out of the Surge here on offense, but Drazah pretty much wipes away a majority of that push coming through from middle. Loony falls as well, and it is a clean slate to start this one off. A solid early round for the Thieves. We talk about how important those opening breaks are. Really, if you are the offensive team on control, the Thieves, they've been able to handle that one pretty well up to this point. Split spawns coming through from Surge, so it is going to be a decision of do we go B or do we try to make the attempt today? And Venom very well may have just made the decision for them.
Yeah, he's just able to take down 3 players, shut down that push from the Surge, trying to commit towards that site. But with 30 seconds remaining, so far the Thieves have just been keeping these guys off of both points. You see where that number 7 player, he's going to be sitting towards top ring, just making sure no players are going to be pushing through driveway. And the entire time, there's just so much pressure from these Thieves players towards this bedroom side. They're just getting every single kill. That's going to be another 3 down, but finally, Loony's able to open up with that kill onto Drazah. That is going to give the opening on towards that A site. With them only being down 5 lives, they need to try to secure this and extend the time by 1 minute. But here comes the streak from Kenny.
Yeah, here comes the cruise from Kenny. You've also got TJ trying to make his way on the flank, so that very well could set up Tej for a play that could break open this game. Prestinni is cautious of the flank. With 0.7 seconds, they are going to be able to get on the point, so just in time. Our Seattle, the nade range true, takes down Venom in the meantime, so it looks like Surge should be able to hold on. They are able to handle Tej, and they've got themselves a minute on the clock. In terms of the live situation, down by 3. It's doable, but given the way the Thieves have looked so far, it's not going to be easy, Stud.
Yeah, it's definitely not, but look at what the Surge are trying to do. They're taking control of Kitchen. Once they have this positioning, it's all about just trying to get some kills. But Drazah is able to open up with 1. Here comes Kenny with the 2nd. Eventually, Octane with the trade. So now you're going to have 2 players pushed up in towards Kitchen. 2 players coming off spawn. It's looking like they're going to try to go through mid-map. Number 5 is trying to locate Octane. But Octane is not going to walk away with that engagement. Kenny's going to win it. TJ's going to be able to get the 2nd. TJ with the 3rd. The only player left in the position is going to be Prestinni with 20 seconds left. He's going to drop. And right now, the Thieves, they just have too much positioning with 14 seconds left. 2 players do drop. Kenny's still at these water steps. Drazah with the 2nd. 4 to 10 lives remaining. They need to try to get on this point to stop this time.
Octane, he gets cut down. Prestinni, while very fast, unfortunately, is not going to be fast enough to try and contest the point toward the end. And back-to-back rounds out of the Thieves. Granted, if you are Surge, you were able to grab one of those control points, but I don't think it was in too much of a question. There was really just kind of 1 play that the Surge were left to make. It was just really kind of good overall investment. If you are the Thieves, right? You send 2 toward that top mansion just for, obviously, for the future, and the Thieves are able to handle all the business that they have to, kind of through mid, through kitchen. But just great plays, great teamwork coming from this team, top to bottom, and it's hard to avoid. Drazah, 14-9, a great start for him. And what he's kind of been one of those players that, I don't want to say has been the X factor for this team, but I know there was that 1 series versus the Ultra where he doesn't play well. Of course, the team does get 3-0'd, but now that he's kind of come onto this roster, a lot of people hyped to see his performance now coming into his first real stage so far throughout this season. Granted, does get met with the nade, but typically when he's playing well, the roster, they will see quite a bit of success. There's maybe some new life coming in from Seattle, as that's now 4 in a row from the AR on the other side in Octane.
Now it's all about just trying to wrap back towards that B site and getting those cutoff kills. And Loony's in such a perfect position, but Kenny's going to win that engagement, so it's going to force Octane to turn back around. Octane's going to get shot in the back. That's going to be 3 down for the Surge, and once again, the Thieves are on that point. They have mid-map control. They're trying to take control of Kitchen, but Gunless is going to win that engagement. So right now, the Thieves are trying to work towards the save point. Venom's going to push around towards the back, able to open up with the kill onto Prestinni. But it's looking like the Surge are just completely giving up on A. They're going to try to set up on this B point, trying to get pushed up in bedroom to force all the players from the Thieves to spawn out towards driveway.
Not as dominant as the first offensive round. Seattle will look to issue a few players, even 1 on the flank, which is going to be Loony. At 7 and 15, didn't have a great performance in the search and destroy, despite what was a victory in the end out of Seattle. The SMG struggling for the time as Kenny is going to go for a ping there with Streak. So at least gaining some intel, gaining some information right now for the Thieves as they look to prepare for their upcoming push. Early shots in, able to read Prestinni. The nice headshot coming in from Kylo Ken. New AR in his hands is looking ever so solid. That's going to be 3 straight. Octane falls as well, and that could be the opening they've been waiting for.
That's 4 down. Kenny's going to turn around. Now he's currently on a 5 speed. Don't forget, he does still have that artillery to still work with, but it has no ping. Drazah is still on the point, trying to pick up some time, but here comes the streak out of Kenny. He's just going to put it down, trying to stall some time for his teammates. The second take is about to come in. All the players from the Surge are going to be stuck in towards basketball. Gunless is going to be able to get 1. TJ with the trade. That's going to be 3 down. Last player alive is going to be Gunless, and this might be a record map right here.
Woo! A solid 3-0 coming out of the Thieves. And I'll tell you what, Standy, this kind of reminds me... Oh, what? Okay, all right. Nice shots coming in from TJ, by the way. The best play of the round. But this is starting to kind of remind me of that series they had versus London, right? They go down 2-0. They look so solid in that control, which leads them into the reverse sweep. I said, again, a solid 3-0 here out of the Thieves as Kenny really just took over a number of different plays. But I think for me, man, it kind of comes down to that first control round. Really from there, they just kind of took over and never really looked back. A solid performance coming out of this kind of newly put together roster. But the chemistry, the coordination was excellent in that situation. And what in specific, it was kind of, the streak comes through from Kenny late, the artillery. He's able to kind of put them in that small room over at basketball. And then just kind of the streak coordination, right? They're all aware of exactly where those final two players are after the first streak came in. Just great teamwork coming through out of the Thieves. SMG's struggling for the surge. What, you got 8 and 18 out of Prestinni, 7 and 18 there out of Loony. Just all around a game to forget for the surge is what? Now they are 0-7 on raid controls.
0-7. That's not exactly what you wanted to expect. I was looking forward to what improvements they were going to make, but that first round basically told me everything I needed to know, man. The Thieves got that one handled. Quick and easy 3-0. Now we're going to be moving on to a map 4 where the Thieves are really confident on checkmate hardpoint. This has the potential to go to game 5. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried. We'll see how things start to kind of shape up on checkmate hardpoint. But hey, Thieves, they love themselves in checkmate. They are undefeated with this 4-man lineup you see on your screens. Have yet to lose, checkmate anything. So excited to see this one. Can the Thieves start the reverse sweep and send us to a game 5? Or can Surge lock things up in 4? We'll find out right after this quick break. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the London Home Series. It is day number 2 again. Sights and seeds of London are oh so beautiful. Man, I tell you what, I wish that we were just, I don't necessarily on that boat, but you know, maybe just around there, taking some photos, taking some pictures. Ooh, it's
I wouldn't want to be on that boat, that's for sure.
Definitely not on the boat for sure, but hey man, let's go. we gotta kind of focus things in here toward our next map, of course, for some hardpoint. We'll go to revisit the stats from our first hardpoint. That one taking place in Apocalypse. And what, man, it was Big P showing out.
Yeah, man, it was basically the entire team, man. Like, everybody was positive besides Loony, who sits at that even stat. But don't forget, they were down 90 points. They had to fight back, playing perfect Call of Duty. Every rotation mattered, every gunfight mattered, and the guys stepped up towards the middle of that game and were able to close that out. Now they're going into a hardpoint on checkmate, which is going to be the Thieves' best hardpoint map with this roster currently. And this is where it gets kind of scary for me, man, because I wanted to see some improvement out of Surge when it came to that control, and that was a bloody massacre. That wasn't even close. And now, going into this checkmate, we know how confident the Thieves are on this map. Surge needs to be able to silence that early in this map number 4.
Yeah, like, I'm looking at the stats right now for Surge in comparison. They are, what, 2 and 3 on checkmate hardpoint. So again, you know, it's a map that is still solid, or however you really want to say it. It's 2 and 3 on. Obviously, they have some reps. Things could have been better. Things could have been worse, but still, again, I think all the conversation really comes down to the Thieves. And again, I'm gonna put this to a bet, Study. Every time that we see a checkmate hardpoint, it always comes down to the third set of rotations over at P2. How much money you willing to bet that we see it again?
So I'm down to put a nice little $50 on it. I'm thinking we're gonna go all the way down to third rotation P2 once again, man. Because both of these guys know exactly which one are the money hills. They know which ones are the money hills, man. It's all about those rotations. Who's gonna win those gunfights? And the way the Thieves like to play this, man, they always have Drazah, who's basically just like overextending with that assault rifle, picking up those kills. And they play so good from that P4 to P5 rotation. Hopefully the Surge have an answer for it.
And like we said, this is kind of the map that started the streak in that stage 2 major elimination bracket for the Thieves. Drazah putting up some unbelievable performances. We'll see how the Surge can look to try to hold them off, as already off the rip, some quick engagements going down toward the center of the plane. Venom, I have no idea how Octane just managed to skate out and go down this side exit, but still impressive plays out of Sam LaRue as they'll look to try to get some more seconds. The early presence, without a doubt, is felt from the SMGs of the Thieves. Loony, meanwhile, on the flank, is able to drop one. Gunless as well. Making some good plays in sync, but overall, back and forth play we go. Thieves with the time in their favor, but Surge currently with the spawns in their hands as well.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you're keeping these spawns for that P2 because it could be a full 60 depending on the setup. So you see all the kills from the Surge coming on from around this plane area, but Venom's going to be able to open up with a big kill onto Gunless. The hill still hasn't popped, so Gunless is going to hold this kill cam, still spawn in the back. Now it's all about just holding this first wave of pushes from the Thieves players. You see the positioning right there out of Prestinni, able to get the first, able to get out with his life. Loony's going to be there with the team shots. Good crossfire out of that duo right there to shut down that first push. So now it's looking like the Surge are going to be able to take this lead with 40 seconds remaining. Thieves only have one good push to try to break this, because they want to be able to cement themselves for that P3 hardpoint as well. But that's going to be 3 down, and now they're going to be able to break in.
When Kenny trying to get the shots through, TJ's there for the return, so the break is in from the Thieves. Quick spawn out now toward A Street for the Surge. The last bullet, at least that he was shooting, is able to connect there from Kenny. Known as Quavo, known as Kylo Ken, known as many names. All we know is that he has been straight up dominant. The great control there. And the Thieves will be able to break on in and at least hold off the early start from the Surge. Of course, the battle now kind of continues to brew throughout our next 2 hills on who is going to have those spawns for P5. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, Seattle Surge locking down bottom plane for the moment. That's 2 quick kills, make it 3 in a row as the Thieves in back-to-back sequences. When there are these team fights, they are breaking in and looking good.
Man, they are flying and frying right now. They're not flying and dying. You could just tell. Since that map 3 has ended, the momentum has switched in towards the Thieves' favor. They're filling themselves a little bit. That's going to be 2 down now for the Thieves. TJ trying to do everything he can. He's able to turn on Prestinni right there and continue the spree that he is on. Almost opening up to a 30-point lead already is the Thieves. And now you see that focus from number 7, trying to rotate towards that P4, but Loony's going to be able to trade it. 13 seconds remaining on this clock. The Surge, they have to try to keep spawns towards the back for P4 and P5. But kills are going back and forth. 2 players are going to go down, but 1 player from the Thieves is already set up for P4, which is going to be TJ.
He's just there. Thieves making some good plays as the break looks to be in from the Surge, but 3 make it 4 fall instantly out of Seattle inside of the feed. Grant some team shots going down either which way, but it's the Thieves currently with control. And in this moment, when you're talking about trying to lock up this series, lock up this map, you really rely heavily on that communication. So let's go and hop into the Astro listening right now with the Seattle Surge.
Made top line.
He's playing their exit.
Our side, not weak. Our side, Drazah.
Our side dead, our side. Oh, one side. I need it right side.
18 seconds here. Let's try to get these guys off ult and try to push through, okay?
Kenny half health, pocket half health.
Kenny back up. Kenny back up pocket. Top ring. Got me. He's not weak.
Good.
We got 1. Good. 1 on time right now.
He's half health, Drazah.
Kill me.
4 seconds.
Hey,
Guys.
one shot, double like steps.
Here, one is top A wing. Top A wing. Let's get top lane. And then start working the right afterwards, okay? One's gonna probably be here on the right hand side. Fucking push up long. We're back to.
I don't see him. Behind the seat. Solo box. Nice.
Solo box on time. I've up here. I don't see him exit steps.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
He's half full got me. He's solo box right now. He's solo box on time. 35 seconds. One top lane right now. T sweet. Or Drazah's sweet. Drazah dead.
You no trophy, right?
Team half full. He's solo box. He's solo box on time. Solo box and there's solo box. Push up behind that. What's not peeking? He's gonna be.
Ken's one shot on new. He's
still got time. I'm dead. Got me exit steps right now. Ken's on a 3 right now, guys.
Yeah, come in plane.
Alright, 12 seconds. It's doable. I'll pick up front.
Kind of new weak, hit him 3 times.
Well, it is a straight up slaughter, really, kind of throughout this first set of rotations. I mean, Stud, given the performance so far throughout this game 4 from Seattle, what'd you make of the comms?
They just sound flustered. The things are not going in their favor. Every single time they're trying to locate a player, the Thieves are just playing ratty. They're sitting in corners, making sure that they're playing their lives perfectly, and they found themselves with such a drastic lead off the very first rotation of these hard points. 174 to 50. That's insane, man. I told you that P4 to P5 chain that the Thieves are able to do. It's the great hold that they're able to do there to grow this lead substantially so far. See kills is going back and forth. Drazah able to take down 2, puts him on a 4 spree. They're picking up time. They have the spawns for P2. The Thieves, they're flying and frying once again, man.
They are. And what's unbelievably impressive for me is, right, they're able to get that P4 to P5, but they also are able to flip spawns so they have P2 in their hands as well. Just overall, masterful performance coming through from the LA Thieves. Surge are able to make their way through yellow container pretty quick. So big gun engagement goes down, and it will be Gunless who does win the fight. Somewhat of a slow performance so far throughout this hard point from Big P. We'll see if things can start to change. The good sequence coming through from the Surge, but and the streak begin to ruin things. At least we'll start to distance a few players out, but the Surge, they're able to hide away. But player 6, TJ, making the play on the flank that makes Gunless have to be aware, but the great awareness and teamwork coming through from Seattle. Really a hill that had to go their way. They had to try and flip the spawns, and they're able to do that for now. Looking good to pass that century mark, but again, it's just you're looking at this lead right now, and you're seeing how difficult it's going to be really for Surge. They're just doing all the necessary things that they have to. Drazah on the flank, trying to cause some problems as the trade is in, and Seattle look good to grab these last few seconds.
Yeah, Seattle do a great hold right there to make sure that they flip those spawns and eventually get some time in their favor. So now they're only down by 80 points. 2 kills are going to go in favor of the Thieves. But right now, the Surge do have plane control. No one yet has touched the hill. Octane's going to be able to win the gunfight onto Kenny. So the Surge do have the spawns for that P4, P5 rotation. It's all about just trying to fight back into this game, trying to gain as much time as possible off this P3. But you have to keep up the kills. You have to make sure you're slaying them out and forcing them to spawn out towards back P2. And right now, only being down 65 points, they're starting to do it. Starting to fight back slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. Talk about flying and frying. I believe for the Surge, just trying to slow things down. Like you're looking at the kill feed, you're just seeing a little bit of a slower play coming through from Seattle, trying to handle the pressure more in waves rather than just on non-stop chaos. Got ourselves a much closer game, pretty much kind of mimicking what we saw in the first hardpoint. Granted, it wasn't as established as a lead, really, for the Thieves, but nonetheless, it was a good P1 and great recovery out of the Surge. As here we go in toward the A Street. The opening engagements are going to favor the Surge. Octane, he drops off the 5 spree, so no streaks for him. Prestinni as well in sequence, he begins to fall. The fight's only continuing as the battle is on. The Surge, after a big gunfight win from Loony up close, they're going to be able to lock down the seconds again. Back-to-back rotations for the Surge in which they're able to hold on valiantly. Looking to try to bring this one back as we've got 30 left on P4.
Yeah, the way that this game is so far turning out, it's definitely looking like we're probably going to have a third rotation P2 to end this game. The Surge are holding this P4 now. They only find themselves down by at least 25 points. 16 seconds remaining on this time. Loony's able to take down one. Kenny with the 2. Kenny gonna try to get the third on the Octane, but that's gonna get traded. But the entire time, the Surge still have spawns for that P5. They can still get back into this game, only being down 30 points. They're gonna have a nice and early setup. It's all about just winning these first engagements. But as I say that, 2 players are gonna drop.
Yeah, there they are. There are those opening engagements. You see Kenny from the top lane. He does reveal himself. It's Octane walking away with a big 3. Does lose the fight versus Kenny, but it's the nice trade there out of his teammate Prestinni. Picking up from where he left off. Gunless tries to line up too, as we're only just seconds away from the lead change. We never thought that we'd be here, but here we are, folks. Here we are. Nearly reaching the double century mark are both of our teams. One player tries to get close to the hill. Unsuccessful, but Drazah tries to put in a triple from the flank. Good plays being made from the Thieves, but it's not equaling out to any time over in P5. And is what the second set of rotations comes to a close. It will be the Surge on top. Amazing performances out of these players as of late. But off of spawn, Thieves are going to have P1, and they are set up currently for P2. The Surge, they've done enough to buy themselves back a ticket in this game, but what can they do with that opportunity as 2 line up for Venom?
And that's the thing now, that all those kills come in their favor. And they can win off of this P1, but the Surge do have the spawns. The Surge have the spawns, so all they have to do is just contest this. They have to contest this and not give up all this time to the Thieves, but Kenny's going to cut both players off, able to take down 2. Prestinni on the opposite side is able to take down 1. The only player in the back is going to be Octane. He has to try to play his life here, but eventually he's going to lose the gunfight to Kenny, and now the Thieves have the lead. They can still win off of this time in P1. 235 to 222. 20 seconds remaining. They can do it here.
What is going on? What is happening? The Thieves now within just about 10 seconds as Kenny continues the spree. Surge will buy themselves another hill, but can they even get there in time? There's 5 seconds left before the next hardpoint pops up. You know, they have to get the seconds, and here comes the push. They have to make some early plays. With 8 seconds, they may just realize this one has got to be over. This one's got to be over. Surely Prestinni is going to hop in, but he drops. Loony, can he get there in time? And the answer is no. After a wild sequence throughout checkmate, it is the Thieves winding up on top and sending us to a game 5. But Study, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how we got here. Like the Thieves, after the first set of rotations, the Surge looked dominant. They're looking great. The crazy flip toward the end, but it's Kenny on top. Oh my goodness. This is insane.
If Kenny does not win that engagement versus Octane, Seattle probably still does keep those spawn towards the back. But that was such a huge one-on-one engagement. That map was all over the place, man. First rotation, the Thieves completely destroyed. They chained that P4 to P5. Then we come around towards the second rotation, and the Seattle was able to mimic the exact same thing that the Thieves were able to do. The only thing right there is Venom went huge in the plane right there. Was able to take down 3. I'm pretty sure he ended up on like a 5-6 spree before he was eventually dropped. But
let's watch it again.
Man, I told you it was gonna come down to a final P2, and it definitely did not disappoint.
It did not, man. Again, iLLeY Ken with the plays that it comes down. The big engagement versus Octane. Just the snap. Able to take him down. Again, we talked about how great Kenny has been lately. And like I said, coming into this series, I think it was like a content piece out of the LA Thieves. He's like, you already know I'm going insane coming into this series. And I'll say, man, he's had his number, at least so far throughout the respawns. We now got ourselves a game 5. But tell you what, man, if it looks anything like this hardpoint, I know we're seeing around 11.5, maybe even around 12, which is not even physically possible. But still, what an excellent series, and really just great sequences from both teams. It just kind of goes to show how close these teams are right now in terms of the standings, in terms of competition. CDL, it never disappoints, man. And again, we've got ourselves a classic game 5 coming up.
A game 5 between these two teams, man. The Surge, they start off the series hot, but the Thieves are never out of it, man. They fight back with their bats against a wall. We got a game 5. This is gonna be insane, man. I can't wait.
It's gonna be insane, folks. Make sure to grab the popcorn, grab the soda, whatever you like to do. Grab the game fuel. In fact, because this game 5 over on Raid is going to be electric. Make sure to stay with us as we'll be back. Thieves, Surge. Alrighty, folks, it is game 5 time. You know the deal. LA Thieves, Seattle Surge. It has been a brawl up to this point. And my goodness, I don't know how to contain myself after what was an unbelievable checkmate hardpoint. As now we come into this game 5 search and destroy on Raid. And really, I think, Standy, we don't really know where to go with this one. Like, just to be totally honest with you, we really don't know where to rank these teams, where to kind of sit when it comes down to a game 5. But let's take a look at the Seattle Surge's search and destroy stats throughout this season, and what kind of sticks out to you, my man?
Prestinni, the 8th overall, that's huge, man, because he's the fastest player on this team. So that means he's getting a lot of first bloods and he's staying alive, playing his life perfectly. And on a map like Raid, this is where they're gonna definitely need him to step up, because we know the way that the Thieves like to play this. They like to take control of that P5 area and eventually just work flanks and stuff like that. So hopefully the Surge are able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, man, we'll have to see. And obviously we take a look at the Thieves. Of course, when we talk about kind of new additions like Drazah, the stats, you know, are only in reference to like the major and so far throughout this series as well, but still impressive. It's at least nice to kind of get a somewhat of an idea for where the team sits given this kind of new performance, but really somewhat solid across the board. Venom 0.96, but again, you talk about just, you know, overall performance, how great he has been at times, what that crazy 3-piece that he's able to have in that Moscow round despite losing it versus Gunless. And you know what, man, like I said, it's kind of hard to predict where you kind of see this one going, but in terms of players to look out for, who do you got first from the Thieves?
I'm looking directly at TJ, because what he's able to do around the middle of the map, he likes, one thing about the Thieves is like back in the day when him and Temp were that duo, they should take control of P5. And once they saw that all the players crossed towards that A site, they would immediately hit through Zig and try to work in towards Art and work towards that pinch. The only thing about their offensive pushes are when they decide to go towards that site, towards that A site, they take control of Laundry, but then they try to push it out. And that's just something, once you get control of that side, you need to plant that bomb and play the clock to your timing perfectly right there. But this one's kind of scary, man. I don't know who this one's gonna go to, man. This one's gonna be a brawl in this game number 5.
Yeah, and I know we talk about stats and, you know, different things. Of course, don't always tell the whole story, but when we talk about this Thieves team, only so many things you can kind of grab. The one thing that I kind of grabbed, right, was the Thieves 6-0 win versus Paris, right? They're able to take this map versus them in a solid 6-0 that kind of started off their run. And again, we kind of talked about it. It was the checkmate hardpoint. Then it was the raid, search and destroy. You talk about kind of rhythm. This Thieves team, they've been in this situation before, despite how young of a group this is being together. They've been in this spot before. They were able to win that reverse sweep versus London at the Stage 2 Major, and they've learned a lot, my man. They've learned a lot historically. Not a great map for the Thieves, 2 and 5 overall, but like I said, if we know anything about this series, it is to expect the unexpected. So I'm going 6-0, wink, wink. We go to round 11. There you go, Study. Like that. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta trick the COD guys, just like that.
Just like that, my friend. And on a map like Raid, it can get scary nice and early, man, depending on how both of these teams decide to play it. So we're gonna hop on with the Surge. And it's looking like they're going to commit towards Zig. They're going to try to take mid control right from the Thieves nice and early. And this might catch them off guard. Octane's going to open up with the first blood. TJ's going to spot him, but Octane with the second. And just like that, it's a 4v2.
LaRue coming out to play. And Thieves, what do you got? Kenny and Drazah, last players up. And really for them, the positioning could not be more opposite. Also, you got Drazah over at A. Kenny now committing toward B. Really, can he get the cross? Is the question from Drazah, but Gunless, again, feeling so clear. Vision-wise, mind-wise, he's going to spot Drazah before he even knows what's coming. Kenny as well, his presence starts to get felt. Great awareness from the Surge as they're able to pick off one. Now it all comes down to Drazah in a 1 versus 4. Again, we say expect the unexpected. At least takes Octane off of the nice spree that he was on. Does get picked off from Gunless, and it will be Seattle winning a dominant first round.
And that was just such a complete blind counter. There's no way the Thieves expected them to take control of mid-map, especially on offense. That's one thing that we were talking about. It's just like, that's what TJ and Venom do. They like to take control of mid-map, work through that pillars area, and just be able to have that easy rotation towards either bomb site. But the Surge, they completely blind counter it. Octane with the 2 to open up that round and able to close out that offensive push in round number 1.
Yeah, it's just kind of been nonstop and impressive from Seattle. I know we talked about the recent loss in the control, but really the improvements, you can tell the work has been put in from this group. They've been doing their homework, stud, and it's really starting to show. Again, this game 5 really testing both of our teams, really kind of where they sit in the standings, and based on the way it's looked so far, they could not be more close. The Thieves early hunting for information. Venom trying to sneak somewhat through mid, but Gunless is going to be able to take him down. And with that being bomb, it at least slows things down for a moment, as Kenny will be there for the quick recovery. 3 versus 4 on offense for the Thieves. In danger of going down 2-0. They find the big pick on the Gunless. Look to issue their forces over at B.
Now they have to push up towards this B side. Drazah is able to take down Prestinni. So Octane is still in a position to try to get Kenny off bomb, but the bomb is going to be planted. Now in a 3v2 situation, you're going to see Loony pushing through kitchen, trying to take his time. He's able to spot Kenny. He's going to gain that information. So now it's all about what can Octane call out for his teammate. He's going to get that info from Drazah towards that top ring, but the bomb is going to be planted towards middle map, and that's going to be really difficult. And just like that, the Thieves are able to walk away with that offensive push. I thought it was going to go downhill once Venom got first blooded, but it was the teamwork right here out of Kenny and TJ, able to open up with that kill onto Gunless, and then eventually just staying alive as long as they could. Open up with the second kill, getting that bomb plant, worked in their favor. The Thieves tied it up 1-1.
And one player that I was really kind of looking out for in that last round was Drazah, right? Because you're seeing Loony kind of in that 2 versus 3, trying to wiggle out, try to get someone to shoot at him, so maybe that could set up Octane. But Drazah, what does he do? Just backs up, plays the timing, just great coordination despite the early pick. The 3 versus 4 clutch goes the Thieves' way, and they're going to have to see that again. They want to walk away with 2 rounds in a row. A Surge sitting firmly over at this B site, setting up camp, setting up shop, and planting the objective down as Loony. See how the Thieves begin to retake, as it is going to be, at least so far, an onslaught coming in from pillars, but again, the stack begins to come forward. Octane does change up his position. Gunless, meanwhile, does find the pick, so at the very least, it is 2 versus 4. Now make it a 1 versus 4, and Octane from the skies. That is going to be Surge walking away with their second.
It was the first blood on a Kenny right there, man. Once Kenny drops, the Surge are able to pick up that information that he's the player that usually likes to play this site by himself. Venom and TJ usually like to play middle, and then Drazah is that island player at that A site. Once they eliminate him, they take control of Laundry. No hesitation on the bomb plant. Forces the Thieves to try to make a play there, and then they just trapped them, man. They knew that they weren't wrapping back towards the base. Everybody was pre-aiming towards their spawn. Every kill goes in their favor into Seattle. They were able to walk away with a great offensive push right there.
Really, when you take a look at the scorecard, the ARs going big early. And also early in rounds. Finding those first bloods. It's Loony's turn. That would be a quick double. Nearly makes the third onto Drazah. The Thieves licking their wounds as now it's all on to Drazah yet again. Fastest round, at least starting things off, that we've seen. Really, just that presence early and the angle that Loony gets just totally changes things up. And I don't know how many first bloods it's been. It's at least 3, if not 4 out of 4 for Seattle to start off. And that is just putting Thieves in a world of trouble, Study.
Yeah, it definitely
We
is,
just lost a
man.
player.
They just keep fighting with the man down.
Really a man down.
Did drop a player, so it's still going to be a 3v1. Still going to be a 3v1. He has to try to work towards his bomb plant with 30 seconds left. Loony's going to be able to spot him. Now it's all about just trying to locate Loony, trying to work this bomb plant, but every single player is just going to be pre-aiming, and the Surge are going to be able to walk away with that defensive hold right there to put them up 3-1.
And we'll get, obviously, some confirmation on what is going down with Penny, but again, just really solid plays out of Loony. First bloods continuing to be problematic for the Thieves, but what? Kylo Ken puts on, maybe the cloak of invisibility? I have no idea. But basically, he just disappears and says, all right, we just get a clean slate here. Obviously, that's not happening. We'll get some confirmation. We'll see what ends up going down. So we're going to assume 3-1. We'll get some word from League Ops and kind of go from there. But Study, obviously, we're 4 rounds in. Seattle playing well. What have you made from our first 4 rounds so far?
Well, Seattle, they definitely have done their homework once again, man. The first round was the tone setter. They completely blind countered the Thieves. They were trying to take control of that P5, but Octane, all 4 players just pushed right through Zig, and they were able to take control of that, and then it was the easy rotation for both bomb sites. And then as the rounds goes on, the Surge, they're just capitalizing, blind countering every single time the Thieves are trying to make a play on their offensive push. And that's why, so far, they are taking the lead on this map.
They're indeed up 3-1. Of course, we will be getting everybody back in the lobby. Do not fret. Game 5 will only continue when we come back after this quick break. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Seattle Surge, LA Thieves. Just a quick little pause, just to make sure that everybody can get in for what is a crazy Game 5. If you're just joining us, Thieves, Surge, hey, during a Game 5, it's going to be 3-1 in favor of Seattle. Making sure, getting some confirmation that Kenny is, in fact, back in the lobby, working on that. And then kind of in the meantime, we got to talk about what this series really means, Study, because how crazy this Group B really is. And what we talked about the Surge kind of giving their road. They've got OpTic faced off against NYSL, FaZe, and then the Royal Ravens. Not going to be easy really for either of these teams, kind of given the position. And like I said, when it comes down to trying to get out of your groups in preparation for what is now Stage 3 Major, we've talked so heavily about this previously. You get yourself kind of in a little bit of a rut early. How problematic that can be for both of these teams right now, given the schedule, given the group that they have. Every win matters, especially these early ones.
Yeah, man, Group B is stacked from top to bottom. Every single match is going to be a difficult one, man. You got FaZe, you got OpTic, you got New York. All three of those matches are going to be, you're going up against a big dog in those. Even though New York, at the major, they didn't really show who they really were. But now since they picked up HyDra, it's a whole new identity for this team. So every single match is important. And the fact that this one is in a Game 5 right now, both of these teams definitely need this one if they want to try to make that major. Because like I said, every single match is going to be really difficult throughout this Group B.
Yeah, man, it's the gauntlet. It really is. And we talk about this all the time. Like, what is the group of death? And now we talk about how much talent really exists in the CDL, given the fact that we have 12 teams, 4v4. I mean, every group, every match really kind of seems like a gauntlet, and this one is no different, given the fact that we are in a Game 5. And kind of in reference to this Game 5, obviously we talked about it, Seattle is up 3-1. Now that we kind of get a little bit of a chance to talk about this one, as I believe, looking at the lobby screen, we are about to load into this, which is going to be great. What do you want to see? What changes need to be made? What adjustments? I know you talk about that often in Search and Destroy. What adjustments after these first 4 rounds do you need to see out of the Thieves in order to bring this one back to a close game?
I need the Thieves to be flying and frying, man. I need them to be playing aggressive and towards that middle map, and so it's easier for the rotations on these bomb sites. TJ, he was playing a little slow on that very first defense, but he was sitting back. But usually we expect TJ and Venom to be aggressive towards P5, maybe even challenge pillars or a couple players from the Surge if they decide to push towards that B site. But they have to switch it up, man, because the Surge, they definitely have done their homework, and the Thieves, they have to try to counter it now.
Indeed, like we said, Surge up 3-1 coming into the Search and Destroy. So again, at 0-0, just be adding 3 to Surge, and really just 1 for the Thieves. But here we go into our next round. Mid position control trying to be grabbed from LA as the quick trades do get granted, but really in record time. It is the plant already at A for Loony. And for the Thieves, given the map position that they have, you like their chances to probably go on the flank. Meanwhile, it's Kenny from the front. We'll see how the retake begins here out of LA.
You see Gunless, he's just holding that stun, just trying to stall time for his teammates to get there, but TJ's able to walk through it, able to get the kill. Drazah is there for the trade. Now it's all left up to Loony in a 1v3, but he put himself in a great position. He's going to try to take this player out of money, but Kenny is going to spot him. He's going to be able to get away with his life, and just playing with his food right there. Because he knew his teammates had to eventually get on that bomb, and Loony had to commit towards that challenge, but Kenny's able to walk away with that engagement, and that one almost got scary. Because Prestinni, his positioning right there to start that round, laying down towards Zig, almost opened up with a 2-piece, which would have completely changed this round, but the Thieves right there able to answer in that 3v3 retake onto that site.
Yeah, there's so many little moments, right? That we look back to in a Search and Destroy and just say, imagine if that would have been different. Well, that sequence right, that near double clearly could have changed the round, sending Seattle up 4-1. However, 3-2 in the lead right now for the Surge. Is now for the Thieves. We'll see what they have got cooked up here in this offense. Their first, after the quick reset. Really shots coming through from the objective man himself, Kenny, but still nothing granted as of yet. Octane looks to reposition. Trophies are out. Audio cues may be granted for the Surge, as again, both teams looking for that opening pick. Drazah is able to find it.
Yeah, Drazah was able to spot Loony in towards that middle of the map, and Loony was in such a great position. He was basically giving the comms towards Octane to let anyone know if they were crossing towards Laundry. So that's a big first blood. So now Octane has to try to play his life. You're going to see TJ wrap back. It's looking like they're going to commit towards this B site. They're going to try to take control of Laundry as well. So Octane's going to have his hands full. Both players are going to jump in at the same time. And just like that, it's going to turn into a 4v2.
4 versus 2. Plant now coming in from Kenny. Nade out from Gunless, trying to lay down some support. But Venom from the top is able to drop the first and the second as well. As the Thieves responding in a great way. But I tell you what, man, it just, at least for me, Stud, it just kind of seems in those moments like you're waiting for Octane to make the play, but also at the same time, you're waiting kind of for this, almost kind of for this team fight. You're like waiting for one to step out, kind of a bait and switch on 2 different portions of the map, and it just seems like it's a little bit too slow, and I think kind of off that pace that we talk about constantly for the Thieves. Whenever they're flying at the same time, and really Surge, they just kind of allow them to do it, I feel like.
Yeah, man, it was just that positioning right there out of Loony. Drazah was just able to spot him, and he committed towards that. Once he opens up with that first blood, it completely just shuts down all of Octane's information. So his hands were full there, but Drazah's going to be able to open the first blood onto Loony. So already, the Thieves, the game is tied currently 3-3. They do have the man advantage now. Seany, he's trying to be aggressive in towards basketball. He's going to try to take down Drazah, and yes, he does. So now, Seattle look like they do have control of this A site. Are they going to decide to work this bomb plant? No, it's looking like they're going to commit towards a push through towards basketball, but Kenny's here to read it.
Any reading and waiting. Reading and weeping, potentially. Again, it comes towards somewhat of a standstill. Prestinni on one side, Venom on the other. Our observers giving us a nice little shot as maybe the engagement looking to come in. Literally, both players stood up at the exact same time. Venom gets somewhat of the angle as Kenny from the top side is looking to go to work, and that's 2 coming through from Kylo Ken. Last player alive is now Prestinni. Left in a 1 versus 3. He drops 3 straight rounds from the Thieves after the reset.
Man, these adjustments that they have made so far are beautiful. They were able to open up that first blood onto that round. And then eventually they shut down that push. It was Kenny just going huge once again with that assault rifle. Able to pick up 2 on the round. Eventually his teammates get the 3rd. But now they find themselves up 4-3 on this map number 5. Kenny having a 4-0 start since the reset has happened. Don't forget, guys, the Thieves are currently up 4-3 in map count on this map number 5. 2 rounds away from closing this out.
Speaking of 2, Prestinni is the only person who has any kills after our first 3 rounds. So you're in definite need of a regame, for sure, if you're the Surge. And maybe someone can start to add toward the totals as Prestinni now puts in not just his 3rd kill after the reset, but the entire team's 3rd kill after the reset. Will be the first blood, in fact. We'll see if they can start to capitalize off of it. Looking for the angle. Maybe gets the gunfight with Tej. No harm done as of yet as Kenny quickly soars into the water, considering the spree that a few players are on. Loony puts in a big one there onto Venom. 4 versus 2. Now here for the Surge, but Kenny's able to drop the first. Again, continuing with that spree, hanging out inside of Tiki. Here comes the nade from the top. And now it's all on to TJ. Presence is felt coming through from water stairs. He gets dealt with. And finally, the Surge are able to put one up on the board themselves as we've got ourselves now a 4-4 scoreline.
So that round could have actually got real scary, man. But Prestinni opens up with that first blood. Thieves get that bomb plant down towards A. But the entire time, Venom was playing in art. And Loony read it perfectly. If Loony does not get that kill, Venom has the opportunity to make that play, to go through a late flank, possibly hit Kitchen, and just completely just stop this push from the Surge. But such a heads-up play right there, out of Dagger Dan right there to close out that kill and eventually tie up this map at 4-4 piece.
I like that. Dagger Dan. What did it used to be? Like Loony doesn't miss? Is that right?
Yep, yep.
So many nicknames.
It's the OG name to Mr. Dan.
I love the nicknames that we've got going on. I mean, what, Kylo Ken is also a pretty solid one. I hope that one sticks. I don't know if it'll be a gamer tag change. I think we're pretty good. We're pretty cool with Kenny, to be honest with you. But here we go. Big round, kind of what, mimicking the way that we saw this, the first round begin after the reset. Prestinni does find the first blood and also stays alive. So Surge continue to rely off of the early play out of Prestinni. Throws the shoulder. Kenny's there to read him. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, so Prestinni with another great first blood right there. Which eventually turns into a 3v3 now. But that bomb is going to be over towards that B site. It's looking like Venom's going to try to go aggressive towards Zig. But Octane, he's going to reposition himself. But number 4 is going to get spotted by Drazah, and Drazah is going to be able to win that engagement. So now it's a 2v3 situation. We're going to have one player towards top bedroom, and Loony just playing in sweet time and art. Drazah is still in a position to try to keep these guys off of that A site. Loony's trying to work up towards B. Does Venom have the cross? Does Venom have eyes on the site? It's looking like the bomb is going to be able to get planted. Venom's going to see his feed. He's going to be able to take the shots, and just like that, it's going to turn into a 3v1. But Octane, he's on the water steps. He's able to take down one. Trying to go into second onto Venom. Here comes the nade. He should be able to drop. Now it's all in a 1v1 situation, and the information is there. Octane can do this.
He can. He's able to play the time. Throwing the shoulder. Has to go for the reload. Back and forth we go. Octane. But a major clutch this would be. Goes for the peak, but it's Drazah who wins the 1v1. Octane had nearly done everything that he had to. But it's Drazah going clutch in this round with some major picks to keep the Thieves afloat, as they'll now sit on 5-4. Tell you what, man, I thought Octane did all the right things. Finds the early pick, throws the nade, takes down Venom, plays the time, but when he goes for the angle, Drazah with the ice, as Thieves are now within one round of closing out this game 5.
Such a great play right there out of Drazah, just playing it patient. You have to know the tendency of Octane. He's not going to wrap back all the way towards Laundry and give that opportunity for you to just immediately hop on bomb. He's going to play towards that middle map, and Drazah's not missing it. Be able to open up the first blood onto Prestinni, who has been that first blood king for the Surge. So now they find themselves down a man. No players are going to be over towards that A site. The Thieves are wrapping back towards A. They should be able to work this bomb plan nice and easy.
Like you called him, my friend, Prestinni, he drops. And so good for the Surge so far throughout this search. But here comes the plant. Can get the pick. Does he go around enough? He does. They actually line up. It's 2 big ones early out of Octane. Drazah, meanwhile, continuing on the spree. Shuts down Loony. 2 versus 2. Bomb planted. 30 seconds on the clock. And the question is, how does Surge look to play this? Octane again with the beams. Last player alive is going to be Drazah. Is it revenge from Octane? No, it's Drazah who wins it again. And that may be the 1v1 that seals the deal. Time ticking away. Gunless has to go for the search. He has to try and find him, but Drazah, all too clever. Playing the angles, playing the time. Goes for the check. And that'll be the series victory for the Thieves. The reverse sweep out of the boys from LA, despite what was highlight moments out of the Surge late in that round, Stud.
Oh my God, the Thieves do it once again, man. They complete the reverse sweep, and if you're the Surge, that last round is gonna sting. Octane opens up with 2. Eventually, it turns into a 2v1, and the positioning out of Drazah right there, you need to have both players push him out at the same time, because if he's able to get that 1 kill, all he has to do is play his life there, and he did it perfectively. That was such a great round out of Drazah. Those last couple of rounds were all Drazah. 1v1 versus Octane. Opens up with the first blood on a Prestinni, then gets a second kill by sitting in the spawn, and eventually kills all 4. I'm pretty sure that was the ace on the round for the young man. Way to play, way to close out that series and complete the reverse sweep.
How often we've talked about Drazah, right? He obviously gets added to the team ahead of the stage 2 major. When he is frying the team, they just reached another level as some major plays post the reset. Again, it was the 3-1 start for the Surge. The LA Thieves come back and complete their second reverse sweep with this lineup. And really, man, you're looking at Drazah, who was a major part of it, especially late. Incredible stuff from this group. As again, man, we talk about how close these teams are. There's a lot of people who were kind of in question, right? Where do we see the Surge right now? Where do we see the Thieves sitting at right now in regards to the standings? And the Thieves, they just continue to be, what I guess the word could be, resilient.
Yeah, man, that's just insane, man. These guys, their backs against the wall, they're still able to fight through. And the thing about the Surge is, I'm just going back to that control, man. It's their worst game mode, and now they're sitting at 0-7 specifically on Raid. And it is continuously just costing them series. If they win that, they close it out in a 3-0 fashion. But it's just not their best game mode. They still have a lot of work to do in the back end. And Congratulations once again to the Thieves, man. They just played amazing.
Yeah, you got to give them a nice congrats after what was a brawl. But let's go and take a look at our scuff play of the game. Again, we talked about it enough. We got to reference this one again. The major plays coming through from Drazah to lock up this series. Again, unbelievable stuff. Post the reset, you see the numbers that he had really kind of throughout this game. And again, this is not even the complete map study. This is not even the complete map, but yeah, he's sitting at like what, 7-1, 7-2, unreal plays all throughout this round. And really, again, after the reset from Drazah.
It was all Drazah, man. He opens up with that first blood, but look at his positioning right now. He was able to sit in the back of the spawn. Even though Octane gets 2, Drazah takes down Loony in the back of the spawn. So now it's a 2v2 situation, and this is what I'm talking about. Time is ticking, 35 seconds on the clock. You know exactly where both players from the Thieves are going to be located, which is going to be towards that bedroom, either bottom or top. Once Octane gets this kill onto Kenny, it turns into 2v1. He gains this information where Drazah is, but this is where the solo challenge really comes to hurt them. Because if Gunless is off the preamp right there and sprinting with Octane, a possible trade is there. But Drazah, like I said, man, just plays this cop beautifully. All he has to do is just watch his back to make sure that the player is not flanking him. Once he does that, all he has to do is just eliminate the player off bomb. And just such a great play right there out of Drazah to close out that match.
Yeah, man, you see the reaction coming through from the Thieves camp, how hyped they are. An impressive play out of the Thieves as Drazah is the hero. Completing the reverse sweep are the Thieves, now sitting 1-0 in stage 3. When we come back, it is aLLeY and Nameless breaking down that last series and setting up our final match of day 2.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Scores are on the doors for the first match of the day. Here is your US Army schedule. And Thieves take Surge with a reverse sweep for their first part of Stage 3. Incredible stuff across the board from the entire LA Thieves team. And Surge, I want to say I salute you guys. Absolutely incredible performance all around from both of these teams. They gave us an incredible showing. And I'll tell you what, we have a banger to finish off the day with. Nameless, I got to talk about this next matchup because we haven't got a lot of time, my dude. So, you know, we have, oh, actually, do you know what? Actually, we're going to do an analysis moment. Actually, I don't even know what I'm talking about, people, so don't listen to me. Listen to Nameless, because we got round 6 of the S&D. Nameless, take it away.
Yeah, the series, I mean, the search and destroys were a bit wonky for me in that first Moscow. Got a little bit crazy. You know, obviously, Surge were able to take that, and the adjustments made by Thieves were fantastic. You're going to see round number 6 here, where they push over towards B. They get that first blood there. It was a little bit slow in the beginning of this round. They end up getting that kill mid, and you see right here how they're kind of spread out on your map, and they end up sending Kenny and Drazah. They know that there's a guy top laundry, so what do? They push together. This is great communication. You're gonna see them throw a nade up there and jump in each window simultaneously. And this is things that they were not doing on that Moscow. They were getting picked left and right. I could think of a specific round where Gunless got 3 kills in 1-by-1 challenges. So here's a huge adjustment. They get that kill. Once they kill him, they realize that they can get this bomb down. They're not worried about the people that are mid-map. They group up. They have a fantastic setup right here. You see Venom looking right over Kenny. He comes back from mid, actually. He was at Zig, comes to ring, gets the assistance, they get the final 2 kills, and that's the victory. Now, with all that being said, there was still a lot of rounds in that game where Thieves were throwing away lives, challenging one-on-ones that they didn't need to, and they died to Prestinni at mid-Zig. I think it was 2 or 3 times in the same exact spot. So this team has a lot of work to do, and with time, they can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, clean up on the mistakes. You see things happening, don't need to happen multiple times. I think clean those up as soon as you can possibly do so on a map. But I think overall, incredible performance, and it shows some serious tenacity to be able to reverse sweep again. I feel like 100 Thieves, we've seen it a couple of times from them now. But actually, moving on to, as I was saying, we do have another match coming your way. Ravens versus OpTic. I get ahead of the game here, folks. I get very excited. Nameless, how does London walk away right now with a dub?
Yeah, I mean, you look at this quick scope presented by Scump, man, and it's just, this isn't pretty right here. Looking at this one, it just looks like OpTic's going to run away with it, right? Everybody who's looking at this, they're like, yeah, they're just going to dominate Ravens. However, when we pull up these maps, I did look across the map records on the maps that they're about to play in this series. And on maps 3, 4, and 5, statistically, the London Royal Ravens have a small edge on Checkmate Control, Moscow Hardpoint, and Raid S&D. So this is the best case scenario if you're a Royal Ravens fan. You know, you bring in Zaptius, who's going to come in and try to make a statement. We've seen it happen before. Hopefully the teamwork's more on point, and you have 3 maps that you've performed well on in matches in the league, right? It's not just practice. You've done well on these maps in the league. So they have a fighting chance. Even if they take one of these first 2 maps, then you know, it's going to be even better for them.
Yeah, I think, you know, they really have to seal the deal on the S&Ds here. Like you say, you know, steal a respawn. And I think in terms of the S&Ds, find a weakness. And if not, make a weakness. Paul X has been particularly good at First Blood. He's got a great stat with that. He's actually got 9 First Bloods to his name. And nice. I think he needs to continue to do that. And try and also better Dylan's 0.88 stat as well in S&D. Try and overcome that as well. So I want to see some things from Zaptius as he's going to be making his debut performance today. But I tell you what, guys, we're going to head to a break, and I'm going to be back joined by Octane from LA Thieves to find out exactly what he thought about that reverse sweep and where they're going to go from here. The Call of Duty League is presented by Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The US Army. What's your warrior?
I have a fan favourite for the Game Fuel Victory Spotlight today. I've got Quavo Ken joining me. How are we doing, Kenny? I mean, incredible stuff from you and your team. A reverse sweep. I think you're making some noise heading into stage 3 here, but I gotta ask you a little bit about your team dynamic. Drazah, I mean, oh my goodness. He's definitely somebody that we're now thinking about going out of that S&D. What kind of impact
100%.
has Drazah really had coming onto your team and the way you guys are now performing?
Honestly, Drazah brings a lot of good vibes. He's really, really funny. And he's also disgusting at the game. So, I mean, overall, I mean, he's been a great player, great teammate. So I'm just glad to have him on the squad because I mean, he can take over in games like that, Game 5. So.
I like that. I like that. Get yourself a skilled comedian, folks. You've heard it here from Kenny. But I tell you what, you guys gelled almost immediately heading into Major 2, and we kind of spoke to you as well a little bit before that on Twitter Spaces and got your kind of verdict. Vibes, smiles, feeling good. But you know, what are you guys really focusing on now as a team in order to get to the place you guys expect to be at in terms of your gameplay?
Right. I mean, honestly, that series didn't go how we wanted it, obviously. But I feel like we need to work on just staying hot. Like, we get overzealous in maps where we're like up so much, and then we get into this rhythm where it's just like utter chaos and us just not waiting for each other and moving a little too fast and just not doing things together. I think that's our major problem right now, is that we can't slow our gameplay down. I feel like that's a lot on me to be able to recognize it, but I get a little too blacked out in game and just focus on the game and I kind of forget. So I'm gonna work on that, and then hopefully it helps the team out. And I think that's only our biggest problem right now, because like I said, the first map we honestly were up a lot and we just threw it. I feel like that's a big problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, look, you know how to bounce back. Hit the brakes, Ken. Find the brakes, and you're good to go, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Great start to stage 3, man.
Thank you.
Well, you have it. You've heard from Ken himself. Incredible stuff from LA Thieves. They've shown serious tenacity as they head into stage 3. Can they keep it up, though? That's the question. We're going to head on to another banger. It's the last match of the day, but it's not a bad one, I promise you. OpTic Gaming taking on our home series team, London Royal Ravens. We will see you guys after the break.